Hey everybody, Saturday evening. So I picked a card. Picked another card. Get it in frame, shell. It's from that same deck as I picked yesterday from Esther Hicks Money Cards. And this one says I can create both money and time and enjoy it. And so then just what I started writing in the description just kind of came to me, and I just threw it out there, which was creating balance, using the law of attraction to create balance, giving yourself grace and time, doing what you love versus doing what you have to, and can you have it all? So just going to go through all of those really quick. I feel like that was a lot, but it just kind of came to me. So I'm running with it. So creating balance. So when we just in life, period, like creating balance is so important. Creating balance with your alone time, the time that you have with others, with creating balance with what you eat and how you exercise, creating balance with your spiritual life, creating balance with your work, home life, all of that. Like you have to create balance. Even if you're like a workaholic or you're like really into your kids and doing everything with your kids and as a mom and not taking any time for yourself, it is so important to create that balance. And it just starts with small little steps and saying things, like, oh, I just don't have any time because these kids keep me so busy. No, you have time. You can, as much as I hate to say it, you could get up a little bit earlier to read that book. You could have somebody watch the kids for a little while. When I always think about when Marley was probably about 6 months old, and he only wanted me. He didn't want anybody else when he was a baby, and it was draining. But I think it was once a week or once every 2 weeks, which I know seems kind of crazy, but when you're a mom of an infant, it can be like that. But I believe it was once a week I went and took writing lessons from a friend. And so I would be gone for like 2 hours, which seemed like an eternity sometimes, especially for my husband. But yeah, I always made sure that even when my kids, I was a stay-at-home mom, so momming was my life when they were little. I made sure to make time for myself to go out and do these things. I took painting classes. For a while, I had a law of attraction group that got together once a week, and every Thursday night, I think it was like 6:00, I'd be gone until like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, because we'd go meet at somebody's house or we'd meet at a restaurant, and we'd just, eat food and discuss the law of attraction and help each other out. And it was just like this really good sisterhood of people. And, you creating that balance is so important just to keep you, it's like that whole work life thing. I mean, or, work play thing. You have to keep that balance. So using the law of attraction to do that, you just have to, like I was talking about, like the programming before, like always saying, well, I just don't have time because the kids need all this driving around and he's at work. I just don't. No, you can make time. There's weekends, there's evenings, there's early mornings, and you do have time. Everybody has the same amount of time. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day, and you can do it. So start changing that programming when you find yourself saying, oh, I just don't have time for any of that. Yes, you do. Yes, I do. I do have time for that. I can, while they're taking a nap, I can read for a half an hour. While, they're at that practice, I can go run and whatever, listen to that podcast or whatever it is. Just take baby steps. So I always go to the momming thing because I feel like moms get so overwhelmed when their kids are little. And I remember being in that state of mind sometimes. But like I said, I always made sure that I had my things to go to. I even joined a mom group, and we would have like play dates and stuff, but they also had like a moms only night. So there was no kids. So we would just like meet somewhere or meet at somebody's house. I remember learning how to play bocce ball and all that stuff. So, giving yourself grace and time. I think that's so important. I think people really beat themselves up in this society with just like not doing enough, trying to do it all, and then just feeling like a failure. And I think it's so important when you get into those frustrated states to give yourself some grace and time. And by grace, I mean understanding that you're doing the best you can. You're not going to do it perfectly. We're all here to bump around and make mistakes and learn and come up with better solutions and love more. And it's okay if we mess up. We're supposed to. We're here to mess up, to make things better. I have come to a point in my life where when things get really frustrating for me, after the initial like knee-jerk reaction of just being upset, I go, oh yeah, when you have an issue like this, when you're frustrated and you have a problem, it's just like the beginning steps to a better solution. And so give yourself that grace. Like, okay, I did my best. It wasn't right, whatever. Okay, let's go on to the next. So that's what I mean by grace. And by time, I mean give yourself some time. And that can be time as in patience, but it can also be like just give yourself some minutes or hours or days or whatever to just let it go. Like, in the moment you can just be like, okay, instead of, like I'll give you an example. Like if my internet isn't working or one of my websites, my reselling websites is being super glitchy or not letting me list a, dress or something, after the initial frustration of like, what the heck's going on? Like, I just want to get this done. Okay, I just need to step away and I will go do something else. It could just be like grab my phone and go watch TikTok for 15 minutes, like more like an hour anyways, but just give yourself that time and give yourself patience. Like not everything is going to happen immediately in the moment. We're in such a instant gratification time in our lives where we can just like pick up our phone and just be like, hey, ask, Google anything and you can learn, why do turtles swim in the ocean or whatever. Like, it's just like, but you can give yourself like that time. You need to be patient. It's not all going to fall into place at this exact moment. But if you have faith, it will fall into place. Okay. So giving yourself grace and time is so important. Doing what you love versus doing what you have to. And I feel like the law of attraction kind of like, if you watch The Secret, it kind of puts out there that eventually you can just be in this like blessed, blissful life where nothing ever goes wrong and you don't ever have to do anything you don't want to. I mean, sometimes I just want to go to bed and I don't want to brush my teeth, but I know I need to brush my teeth. And it's not like this, dream job of mine to brush my teeth every night, but you have to do it. So your teeth stay healthy and, you have fresh breath and all that good stuff. So doing what you love versus what you have to is just like that balance. You love to read when you go to bed and you want to get there as soon as you can, but you have to stop and brush your teeth and take your contacts out and wash your face and, get your pajamas on and whatever your nightly routine is. Sometimes that becomes the grind. And the thing that you can do with stuff like that is you can just like change it up. And when you change it up, it honestly creates new ways of it literally creates new pathways in your brain when you change any kind of a routine up and start doing that like on a daily basis. They say to like drive a different way because it just kind of like makes you more aware of everything. Because when you like drive to the to the school or to work or to the grocery store the same exact way every time, it gets to be where, you have those moments where you're like, oh my gosh, how did I even drive the last 2 miles? Because I was in my head thinking about something. Did I go through any lights? Did I pull out in front of anybody? Like, that whole thing. And so even in those daily routines and those monotonous things, like for my reselling business, one of my dreaded tasks is listing, because I just feel like I love going out there and finding the stuff. I even enjoy photographing it, because you're putting it out there and you're putting it in position or whatever and taking these photos of it. But the listing part, I'm just sitting here on my keyboard picking up the next piece. Okay, I got to measure it. You got to do like all that technical work, to get it out there so people can buy it. But you have to do that. So even changing that up sometimes, like I'll like do a little competition, like, okay, I'm gonna look at the clock and say, like, right now it's 8:00. So by 8:15, can I list 4 things or something like that? And so I'll just like hurry up and try to do that really quick, and just turning it into little games and making it different, so it's not just this grind or whatever. And doing what you love, like I love the thrifting part, so that part's fun, and even that becomes a grind sometimes. But it's just like whenever I get to that point where I'm like grinding, feeling the grind on the things that I love, I just go, okay, universe, bring me something great. And then it always happens. It always happens. Today I just sold a dress for $120, and it was actually it's this huge boxy oversized dress, and it actually looks like a big giant button-up shirt with these weird little sleeves. And I was like, this just looks really interesting. I'm just gonna grab it. And it was like towards the end of my thrifting trip, so I didn't even look it up on my phone, and I just brought it home and looked it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like this kind of high fashion dress that's, retails for like $300 or something, and they're going for $150. I put it on for $150 and took an offer of $120 on it today. And I just listed it like within the last week. And so stuff like that is just like, wow, that's like, I know I have that. Then I'm like reassured that, I'm doing the right thing and I'm loving it and everything. So, but because I did have to list it, you can't sell it if you don't list it. Nicole State, I used to watch her all the time. She's kind of a bigger reseller. She used to have a great YouTube channel, and I wish she would start it again. But hey, good morning. I'm from India. Oh, hi. I'm from America, and it is nighttime here. So anyways, that's the doing what you have to, or doing what you love versus doing what you have to. Those have to things, you can change them up to make them better or different, or, into a little game or whatever. So the last thing I was going to talk about was, can you have it all? And the answer is yes, you can have it all. Sometimes you need help from outside sources, whether it's help cleaning your house, it's help, shopping for your food. Sometimes you can't do it all, but you can have it all. And so, I'm tired. 8:00 is literally my time to go to bed. So I'm just like, I gotta get this video out there, because I'm doing this one video a day for 30 days. So I'm tired. I'm gonna quit rambling on. I've only been going for 13 minutes, which is fine, but I just wanted to put that out there. Basically, like, you can have it all. You have to create balance in your life. You have to make the monotonous things fun however you can. And it's important to just have that balance. Make sure you have that work-play balance in your life. If you're working too hard, it's time to play. If you're playing too hard, it's time to get to work. And just create that balance. And you can do what you love. So I know this is kind of a lame video. I'm sorry. I'm just exhausted. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and look at my other videos for more great stuff on the law of attraction, on thrifting, on all that good stuff. Have a great night. Goodbye.